Well, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the 11th of August. Welcome to Central Valley Talk Live. I'm Austin Reed, coming to you from our Tower District studios inside the Mike Briggs building. Thank you for joining us. We have got an author next to me. Joining us live via Zoom is Michelle Murray for our artists and authors from CentralValleyTalk.com. Michelle, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited. I love your show, by the way, so I'm excited.
Thank you. Well, thank you. We love you as well. We love you for coming on. So tell us about this book.
Oh my goodness. So this book, it's a thriller for those of you who like mysteries and adventure. It's all of that rolled into one. Interestingly, it's actually based on a couple of embellished true events out of the state of Oregon, and we just, I just wrapped it up and fictionalized it and made this book. But so we have this combat veteran who, she's been type A for 20 years or whatever, and she just wants to relax and have a, go fishing kind of life, just relax on the water. But she goes to this small town to do so, and there's a lot of corruption going on. So the people of the town keep coming to her with things she needs to investigate, and she thinks they're all nuts, right? She thinks like, oh, they're just exaggerating. But one particular thing catches her attention. A lady thinks that the powers that be who run the town have murdered her daughter and kidnapped the grandbaby. So the protagonist, Debbie, she says, okay, I'm going to look into this. And as she uncovers clues, one thing leads to another, and before you know it, she's down this rabbit hole of human trafficking and drugs and really some interesting plot twists that I think will hold your attention. And I won't give away the ending, but it has an ending that will touch you viscerally.
So tell me, have you been kind of a lover of reading and writing since you were young?
Oh, definitely. Somebody asked me one time, well, when did you start writing? When did you know you were a writer? Honestly, since I could. And I must have been in kindergarten, and I can't even remember what the news must have been, but it had to be things like, I don't know, like we're having cereal for breakfast this morning and it's sunny outside, et cetera, et cetera. But I used to have a lot of fun when I was 4, 5, 6 years old making that newspaper and just, getting lost in the worlds of books. Even back then, I've always been a reader, always. And I am a combat veteran, and even when I had downtime in a combat zone, I was reading a book. So I've always been a lover of the written word.
Well, it's funny, when I was a kid, I had a fake newscast in my basement, my parents' house. I was 11 years old, so I know exactly what you're talking about there. What's next for you?
Well, I'm actually working on the next book. So this book, The Berg, it's actually part of a series. I've planned out 32 books. It's book 3 of the series. So I've already started working on book 4. And that one's a little more dramatic, but it's also a thriller. Almost all of these books are thrillers, but the one thing they have in common, they do have strong female protagonists that I think anybody can relate to because they overcome adversity, really to save themselves. And I think that's something we all, as human beings, deal with. In different forms or fashion. So I think that's one thing about this series that people will connect with. So I've already started that next book.
Awesome. Perfect. Who's your perfect reader? What's your demographic, would you say?
Well, so I used to think that my demographic would be kind of anybody probably from maybe 30 on up, 30 to maybe 40 would be ideal. But as I have released this series of books, I've learned I have teenagers that read my books. Wow. I have grandparents that read my book. And that kind of opened my eyes that the characters are relatable to many age ranges. I focused on that protagonist who's maybe like mid-40s. But there's people who connect with, the antagonist or some of the side characters, and they're all ages. So I would tell you there's something for everybody, but it does come from my perspective. and so I'm kind of that middle age range. So I do write from my perspective, but I think a lot of people connect with the book.
And I love how this story is set in Oregon. We have so much in common. I'm from Oregon, so I'm from the Portland area.
Oh, okay.
But I've lived all around Oregon. I've worked in every TV market in Oregon. Portland, Bend, Eugene, Medford, and Salem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, then you may connect with this story as well.
I know. I'm listening to this, and I'm like, I need to read
This
this.
story set in Roseburg.
You're in Roseburg. Okay, yeah. Southern Oregon. Beautiful.
It was
Beautiful.
set in Roseburg.
Yeah. I was a morning anchor at the NBC station in Medford, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful country there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country
It
there.
is. I know. I miss it for sure. If somebody wants to pick up the book or they want to continue to learn about this series, what's the best way for them to do so?
So I'm super excited to say it is finally available in virtually all real retailers. It's available at Walmart, Amazon.
Wow.
You think of it, you can get a copy of the book there. And you can also get it on our KMP Entertainment website as well.
Perfect. Michelle, thank you for joining us today. Michelle Murray, and fascinating conversation. Cool story.
Well, thank you for having me. I sure appreciate it. And again, I love your show. I'm a huge fan, so I'll keep watching. So thanks so much. You have a great day.
Thank you, Michelle. You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back, everybody.